construction of the Kaaba. As commanded by God, Ibrahim, peace be upon him, journeyed from Sham, Greater Syria, to Mecca, along with his wife, Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, and their infant son, Ismail, peace be upon him. There, under a large tree at the highest point in the mosque, Ibrahim, peace be upon him, left them on the sacred spot of Zamzam with a water skin and a bag containing dates as their only provisions. Ibrahim, peace be upon him, returned to Sham, trusting in the divine plan. During that time, Mecca was a desolate, uncomfortable land with the black mountains, barren valleys, and an uninhabited town devoid of any residents. Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, followed Ibrahim, peace be upon him, trying to understand why they were to be left in this desolate place. She called out, "O Ibrahim, O Ibrahim, where are you going, leaving us in this valley, where there is no person with whom we may find companionship, nor is there anything of benefit?" She persisted in her questioning, following him until they reached Qadda, repeatedly asking, "O Ibrahim, to whom are you leaving us?" She repeated that to him many times, but Ibrahim, peace be upon him, did not turn back to respond. Then she asked him, "Has God commanded you to do this?" He, peace be upon him, affirmed, "Yes." She then uttered words of profound faith, saying, "Then he will not neglect us." With this unwavering trust in God's plan, she turned back, while Ibrahim, peace be upon him, continued his journey. Having reached the mountain pass where they could not see him, Ibrahim, peace be upon him, faced Kaaba, raised his both hands in supplication, and prayed as recorded in the Quran.
أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم ربنا ليقيموا الصلاة فاجعل أفئدة من الناس تهوي إليهم وارزقهم من الثمرات لعلهم يشكرون.
Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, remained with her son, Ismail, peace be upon him, for several days. As their food and water ran out, signs of anxiety and fear surfaced. Confronted by the imminent challenge of survival, Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, hurried to a nearby valley, framed by two mountains, Safa and Marwa. Opting for Safa, the closer of the two, she ascended its heights, surveying the valley in the hope of spotting someone, yet finding no one. She descended and embarked on a determined sprint across the valley towards Marwa. Mounting Marwa and still encountering solitude, she persisted in her search despite the absence of any visible aid. Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, clung to her unwavering trust in God's relief. She continued this poignant journey back and forth between Safa and Marwa, completing 7 rounds. In a moment of introspection, Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, considered returning to check on the state of her child. However, her solitude was interrupted by an unexpected sound. She hushed herself. Then, filled with a mixture of longing, hope, and anticipation, she cried out, "Help! Help! If you have any good to offer, help!" Suddenly, Angel Jibreel, peace be upon him, appeared near the location of Zamzam. He struck the ground with his wing, and water gushed forth. Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, was not only astonished, but also filled with boundless joy at the manifestation of God's generosity and the miraculous survival of her infant. She started scooping and collecting the flowing water, and as it surged, she drank and nursed her child. At this moment, A profound sense of tranquility and peace enveloped her, replacing the anxiety that had gripped her heart. Then Jibreel, peace be upon him, reassured her, "Don't be afraid of being neglected, for this is the house of God, which will be built by this boy and his father, and God never neglects his people." Afterwards, some people from the tribe of Jurham arrived at the lower part of Mecca and observed a bird hovering, a telltale sign of the presence of water in the seemingly barren valley. They sent a messenger to investigate further. He found Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, and her son, peace be upon him, by a spring of flowing water. They approached her and sought permission to settle in the vicinity. With her gracious approval, they brought their families and established their home there. And Hajar, Allah be pleased with her, found solace in the companionship of Jurham tribe. From this point on, the story of Mecca's habitation began. Ismail, peace be upon him, grew up in this blessed land and eventually married into the tribe, marking the auspicious beginning of his descendants. From his lineage emerged the Arab tribes. Among them are Quraysh and Banu Hashim, culminating in the birth of a Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This is Mecca al-Mukarramah, a safe sanctuary where, until our present day, the fruits of all kinds are brought, and its people are provided with blessings by the grace of God, and then by the supplication of our father, Ibrahim, peace be upon him, the steadfast follower of the pure monotheistic faith, and the bearer of the banner of Tawheed, monotheism, and faith. The Quran says, and mention,
وَإِذْ جَعَلْنَا الْبَيْتَ مَثَابَةً لِلنَّاسِ وَأَمْنًا وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَّقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلًّى وَعَهِدْنَا إِلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ أَن طَهِّرَا بَيْتِيَ لِلطَّائِفِينَ والعاكفين والركع السجود